fine because they'll find another piece to replace him because they're a team that's gonna in the next 2 to 3 years they're gonna be another threat in the AFC North, along with unfortunately Cleveland and Baltimore. It's gonna happen, and for the next 5 to 10 years, the AFC North is gonna be a battle constantly
between
between those four, and hopefully Pittsburgh being the one that always comes out on top. Do I see it constantly happening? No, because you're going to have a year where you hit that rough patch where, case in point, last year, even without Ben, even though we went 8-8, you had those games you should have won, but you lost.
Well, the Giants past 5 years had a pretty crappy year. 2015, we were the last 10 to 5 seasons. But anyway, free about that.
But that's what happens when you lose key pieces to either free agency, injury, retirement.
I was also reading. I read this morning that Joe Judge like backing David Gettleman and crap like that. I don't know what.
It's not going to be Joe Judge's. It's not going to be Judge's decision if Gettleman's here.
But just they already said Golden Tate's gone.
But I think
Garrett's gone.
But in that situation though, like with the Giants, if you give Gettleman another year, and he doesn't get it right in this draft, and you'll know by the first pick. Okay. Because we went over the mock drafts and a lot of them.
You'll know.
Which a lot of them very interesting.
Very interesting, actually.
And if Gettleman doesn't get it right in this draft, unfortunately, you're going to have to ride it out with him for the rest of the season before it even starts. Because how are you going to pull what the Jets pulled where, okay, Mike Maccagnan drafts that year's team, and then you fire him literally like right after it. That made no sense. If you were going to do that, then why didn't you just fire him, and then just have whoever else draft the team?
Or does not have David Gettleman draft the team and have fucking.
I don't think the owners have faith in Joe Judge to draft yet.
Who has faith in? See what he.
I'm just saying.
I'm like stuttering my voice.
I'm just saying because
you'll know when the first pick's fucked when you hear me throwing up in the bathroom, okay? Like
because we went over it, we looked at it. Obviously, every mock draft has Trevor Lawrence going 1.
Yeah,
and then we jumped to the Jets side of it.
Now the Jets
the Jets mock draft is it gets very interesting here because some of them haven't taken Penei Sewell, I think from Oregon, the offensive lineman.
Yep.
Which honestly, that's what you need. And he's another beast like Mekhi Becton. Yep. If you have him on opposite sides
for Sam Darnold, will be fine.
It. But then this is where it gets interesting. Justin Fields falls in a lot of mock drafts. Remember,
falls to number
he fell to a lot of different teams and a lot of different picks, but not the Jets. Because in one mock draft, they had the Jets taking Zach Wilson from BYU and passing up on Justin Fields. Now, if they're going to go the quarterback route, I haven't seen enough of Zach Wilson to know what he is, but I've seen more than enough of Justin Fields to know that if I'm a Jet fan, and me knowing that they're going to walk away from Darno and do whatever they have to do, which one NFL exec came out, and of course it was anonymous, because, God forbid you put your name on it. He said he sees the Jets making a trade with Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh taking Darno. What's in the deal was a whole bunch of what ifs. And if you want to play the what ifs, I think it was a 3rd and a 5th for Darno straight up.
That's not bad.
Which, for me, based on what I've seen, and I have to take into account that he didn't have weapons.
Yeah, you have to understand that.
To me, that's fine. That's fine. I would give a 3rd and a 5th for Sam Darno. Anything more than that, and I'm driving to Pittsburgh myself, and I'm putting my boot up Colbert's ass.
All I'm saying is that these past 2 weeks, what I seen from Sam Darnold was some pretty.
Well, because he's trying to build his own value up. Listen, Sam Darnold knows Sam Darnold knows he's out the door.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, he already lost the job. As far as Jets fans
go, if the Jets would get that number 1 pick, they were taking Trevor Lawrence, and that's
as far as Jets fans go, Darnold's already out the door. In their eyes, Darnold's out the door. I don't care. I don't care if I know you and you're a Jets fan.
If they don't draft a quarterback in the first round, that means he's on.
Well, yeah, exactly. If they don't draft either Wilson or Justin Fields,
I would either trade the second pick or
now seeing in mock drafts that they would go after an offensive lineman. I don't trade the pick now.
Well, obviously not.
because you're gonna try to tackle one of your issues, which is the offensive line. Again,
And
for
then you
Jets fans who have thrown in the towel on Sam Darnold, you're a fool. Because if let's say they move on from him, Sam Darnold goes anywhere at this point, and he becomes this like borderline Hall of Fame quarterback.
Ryan Tannehill, prime example, Miami, Tennessee.
And look who coached Tannehill in Miami.